Hey, what's up, guys? Scott Ssoriero here, realtor, broker, associate with Keller Williams Ocean Living in New Jersey. And I just recently did a video, as a matter of fact, I did it today, on buyers and what they should expect. It's a little bit easier. Basically, the consultation I would have with a buyer, how it would go. I'm going to attempt to do the same thing for a seller. However, it varies greatly, the conversation I would have depending on the property and what I think it would take to get it sold. So the conversation is going to vary. This is very generic, and it's based on what I have seen and been through lately, especially in these current market conditions. So let's go. So anyway, the seller's interview is basically designed for me to assist you in selling your home and basically going over what I'm going to do to make that happen, and set expectations and answer questions. So, and there's more to it, but basically everything I just said covers pretty much all that's going to happen. So when I walk in, I'll ask you how I can help you, and ask you why we're meeting today. And I'll wait and hear what you have to say, because I want to know why you are selling your home. And I'll also ask, are all owners present at this time? Because both of you have to make the decision, or many of you, however many own the home and are titled on the home. I need to have you there so we can go over everything once, with all of us asking and answering questions at the same time, so everybody's clear and we're all on the same page. It's very confusing to go through this twice, and I really don't like doing it, and you shouldn't either. So I always request that all parties be there, present for this. And I'll ask you, how soon do you need to move? That's important, obviously, for obvious reasons, because we're going to have to get moving if it's within 90 days. Will you be looking to purchase? Are you going to be buying in town? Are you downsizing? What's the reason? I'll find all that out, but what's the reason? And I can help you and share information about what that's going to look like. If you're going out of town, well, Keller Williams covers the entire world, and I have agents all over this country that I work with. I send them referrals. They send me people moving to New Jersey, and we kind of work together. It's our own little network, basically, and it's pretty awesome. It makes us more full service, basically, to all your needs anywhere. So then I'll get right into, talking to you about the price point, because that's generally what most people care most about. We'll talk about the next thing they care about as well. But we need to get this figured out, because the price point to your home is the single biggest marketing tool for your home. It's the category people searching. And then from there, they look at pictures and whatnot. But this is the most important thing we're going to do in your home, setting your home when we list it. So I'll ask you, what price did you have in mind? And then I'll ask you, how'd you come up with that price point? And most people, my Uncle Vinny from Brooklyn told me my house in New Jersey is worth it. No offense to Uncle Vinny. Is he a realtor? Probably not. How does he know? I would ask him, how did you get the number? Anyway, it doesn't matter what anyone says. Market value is what somebody is willing to pay for your home, and we base it on past sales of homes in your area. So generally, what I'll do is prepare what's called a CMA, and basically it's a comparable market analysis of homes that sold usually within the last 90 days in your area that are similar, and we can come up with a rough idea of what they sold for and base what we're probably going to get for your house. Now, in this case, the market has been going up currently, and it is today, March 27th, 2023. Every day I look, the market's going up. It's insane. and I'm not supposed to use that word, but it's insane. Nobody's ever seen anything like this. And you really do have to be actively involved to know what's going on. But I can promise you, if you're a seller and you market your house correctly with the price, professional photography, which I take care of, and also target marketing areas with people looking to buy the home that are coming from potentially other states, other areas, that's who brings the best offers. And that, as a realtor, is my job, to get you as much money as I can for your house. And I take that very seriously. So with that being said, after we went over all this, I would ask you permission if you would like to see my CMA that I prepared, and it'll actually show you homes. I'll ask you if you're aware of the homes. Many people are aware of one or two of them. And, you know, the prices are the prices. This is what they sold for. Then I'll show you homes that are active currently on the market and their price point. That's our direct competition. Okay. Homes that expired, meaning they were listed and they may have been priced too high. There may have been a problem with the house, whatever. It's good to know. I will generally call the real estate agent and ask them why the house expired. And, you know, they'll let me know, and that would be, better able me to assist you in coming and in informing you about price points. Okay, because at the end of the day, it's still your decision. All I'm here to do is guide you and inform you. So with all that being said, we'll go through the comps, you'll look at them, and then hopefully the numbers are close. But if they're not, we're going to need to visit, you know, why. And we're going to have to be honest and objective and look at the other houses to see if there is the same, you know, everybody loves their house, and I get that. There's an emotional attachment. But at the end of the day, it's a business transaction. It really is. And it needs to be treated as such and thought of as such. So you see your house every day for what it is. And in your mind, it's gorgeous potentially, right? Well, you know, a new buyer coming in the door may not feel the same way. They may not like your Korean countertops. They may want granite. You know, they may not like your white cabinets. They may want dark brown, whatever. You may love them. Everybody's different. We can't please everyone. That's why we try to get as many people as we can in, so that the more the better. The more eyes, the better we are. So anyway, getting back to the price, we need to price it accordingly. Not based on what you want, what you need, nothing. It's based on what it will sell for. And you need to make a decision based on the numbers I show you and share with you, if those numbers are going to work for you. Because that's probably what you're going to get, somewhere in that range. So we would move on from there. If we can agree on a number, perfect, right? And generally we do. It's not really as difficult as you think. Most of the time you're going to be close, okay? Just keep that in mind. Let's see. We'll set the price. So the next thing that comes up, and I'll be honest with you, it hasn't come up really lately, is the broker's commission. So what is the broker's commission? That's the amount of commission that my broker gets for the sale of your home, and, you know, for selling your home. It's and then we get paid out of that. So people often ask me, can you do it for this? Can you do it for that? I can't do anything until I see the house. And the reason I say that is because I need to see, first of all, where the house is, how its location within that area, the condition it's in, and, you know, how homes are, the current market statistics in that area. If it's going to sell quickly, right, I can definitely work with you on my commission. Okay? It's 100% legal in New Jersey to negotiate commission. Okay, you have a legal right to that, and we can do it, and we will do it. But I will generally set that number, and it's fair based on what I think it'll take. And, you know, I'll hear what you have to say, but I won't go below my number. And usually the numbers and range from 5 to 7%, 5, 6, or 7. And like I said, it depends on the property, but that's how I am. I will stand by my number because I know what it costs to run my business. And that's basically how I'm going to handle it. So once we agree on the commission, with everything being agreed upon, time frame, people are going to ask me about time frame. Time frame is the one variable. It's very difficult to guess because it changes so much. If we were back in November of 2022 to December, there were homes sitting 60, 70 days. All of a sudden we hit the spring, February, those same homes in February sold almost immediately. So it really does depend on market characteristics, excuse me, and what other homes are selling for in the area. I would go over that as best I can with you, but again, it would be an educated guess. And I know time frame's important. I will say that generally, if the home that don't sell, that expire, let's say, and if a home is sitting on the market a long time, I won't say it's always price, but 99% of the times it's price. The house could have a major defect that the seller doesn't want to fix and whatever, and that would generally, no matter what the price point was, well, I shouldn't say that, because there's really nothing price can't fix, right? So even a home like that, if you priced it right, it would sell. But generally, we're overpriced. And I can go over that parameter of how overpriced we are based on some statistics from your house over time. So anyway, and it's a little bit involved, but I can go over that with you in, when we're meeting and let you know how I do it. The other thing is, once we're all agreed upon and we're going to list, we're going to need to get your home show ready. So when the buyers walk in the home, it's clean, it's clutter free. I'm not supposed to call it clutter, but it's clutter. To other people, they don't have any emotional attachment. It's clutter to them. So even though you love it, I'll go through that with you on what I think the best thing is, but you want to show each room in its best light. When someone opens that door to your house, they should have a clear view looking in, not cluttered furniture blocking a hallway, things like that, if you know what I mean. So we can go over that, but the house should be clean, it should smell good, and be show ready. And I go over exactly how to do that. It's not as bad as it sounds, and there's nothing personal. It's just the way it is. So it's what I help you prepare the house. Now, I recommend at this point getting an attorney, a seller's attorney. Seller's attorneys, and I'm not an attorney, but based on past experience, are generally a little cheaper than the buyer's attorney. Okay, but you should have one to protect you. That's what they're there for. So once you have the attorney ready to go, I will help you. I will call the township and get you the paperwork for you to immediately order the certificate of occupancy and fire cert. They're going to come in and do a C of O inspection, and they're going to check the house out to make sure it's livable. Some towns don't do it since COVID. They just do the fire inspection, and I've actually had an inspection where they didn't even come in. They did it from the front seat of their car. We get the certificate. It's good from 60 to 90 days or more in some towns. So that should more than cover the time the house is for sale. So anyway, we do that. I will order professional photography, and depending on the house and its location, drone footage, which really goes over well. Again, your photography is secondary to your list price in marketing tool. Okay? People look at the pictures, and that's what makes them come. They have to look good. They can't be cell phone pictures. All right? This is a very expensive item you're selling, the most expensive item most people own. So with that being said, we're going to make it show ready, and we're going to take pictures and show the house in its best light. Okay, so when people come in. after that, once we list the house, it'll go live. I'll proactively prospect agents in my town, in my company, and we have 1,500 in my company alone. But I call all around, especially in the areas where I know people are looking to buy. But I asked them, do you have a buyer that might be interested in this house? It's just another tool for me to get people in. I spend about a week doing that if needed. And generally everybody knows by then. Then I will market the house in the areas where I know people are coming from. You know, depending on where you live, I know where people are looking, where they're coming from buying in that town or that area. And that's what I target. And that's based on experience. But I can go over all that with you in real time and show you how it looks. And I use social media and other marketing media to accomplish those goals. It's not cheap and it's a big time sink, but it's worth it because my goal is to sell your house and get you as much money as I can. Then I did my job. Okay. And I want you to be happy with that. I really do. I take it very seriously. So with that being said, we move on. The showings will start. We'll set a time frame when is good for you. I recommend every time there is that's available, you show that house. Well, I'm going to do open houses and schedule them on the first week. I usually do a Saturday and a Sunday for the first week, and then Sundays thereafter. If we do this right, that'll be all it takes. All right. And then we should be able to have offers coming in. So if the offers aren't coming in, okay, I'm going to be in constant communication with you. Any realtor should. And we're going to go over why they're not coming in and my best guess. And I will get information and feedback from other agents, from their clients that have seen the house to help me out with that. And it's very accurate. It really is. And it's sobering sometimes because it generally means having to drop the price. But there have been cases where it's been an issue with the house. They didn't like the paint. The house wasn't clean, blah, blah, blah. I hear it all. And, you know, it's nothing personal, even though it's going to insult you. Don't be insulted by it. Fix it. You want to sell your house. A coat of paint may be needed, whatever. It doesn't matter. You're going to make it back. So it's what I will recommend after I hear the feedback from the other people that were looking. And it's also, the home is going to need to be maintained. If your home is vacant and you're already out, I will be there every single day, every night to check the house. I generally will sweep it, do a little cleaning, but I also protect it. I check it and make sure nothing's getting damaged. Nobody goes in that house without an appointment. I make sure that they are all checked, invested, and they're approved buyers with real estate agents. And just to make sure that, you know, nobody's going in there tire kicking. We want people that are actually looking. So what if it takes longer than expected to sell your house? Do you have a plan B? I ask this question with buyers too. And to be honest with you, I go over that with you. I like to have a plan B and a plan C. Okay? If we do everything right I just described, you're not going to need a plan B. If we overprice the house, you're probably going to need a plan B and a plan C. All right? And then we're going to be chasing the market. So current market conditions dictate how all this is going to work. Okay? If the market is a seller's market like it is right now, where there's not a lot of inventory, well, it's supply and demand. You're going to get some action. Okay. Now, it may not be the action you want, but it will be what the market will bear based on everything else we did. And that's all we can do, right? It's still going to be your decision. If the numbers don't meet what you like, well, we pull the house off the market and you don't sell it because this is all you're going to get. All right. If there's issues with the house, we fix the house to get those issues removed, and then call the people back and say, come look at it now. And I've done that already too. So these are pretty much the things you're going to need. A buyer will need to, I'll give you what a buyer is going to go through in this process before they even get to your house, potentially, but they're going to need to get a pre-approval from the bank. They will send that with their offer to you. They're going to look at homes, hopefully like yours. Their agent will prepare an offer and deliver it to me, which then I will deliver to you. If you accept that offer, then they're going to need to get an attorney, inspector, home inspector, and a title company. The attorney review period is generally about 3 days. We're going to order our smoke certification and CO certification, and the buyers will order an inspection after we're out of attorney review. And at that point, it takes anywhere from a week to 14 days to get that done. It's usually done before that, if they have time. The defects are going to be negotiated with you. Whatever they find, their inspector finds, they're coming back to you. They want to know what you're going to do about it. And at that point, you can decide, I'm doing nothing about it. You're taking it as is, or I'll fix this, I'll fix that, but I'm not fixing this. It's all up to you. We'll go over all that. And of course, your attorney will present that to the other attorney, your answer. And then that buyer can make a decision whether that's satisfactory to him or not. Let's see. The lender now for the buyer will order an appraisal. Takes 3 to 7 days generally. And then a couple more days once it's been done to get the appraisal back. The mortgage commitment is then ordered. That takes an additional 3 to 7 days. Then after that's complete, as long as the house, well, let's get back to appraisal. If the house appraises, all is good. If the house doesn't appraise, the buyer's either going to have to make up the difference in price that he offered by bringing cash, because now he's going to get less money, or she's going to get less money, or, they'll ask you to drop your price to whatever it appraised at. In this market, that hasn't been happening. Everything has been appraising, but it could happen, and I would go over in depth how to handle that and deal with that if that were to occur. Okay, then the title search takes place. After the title search is over, they'll say they're pretty much clear, and then your title's clear that you'll be getting. The title's clear. When you get it, it'll be a clear title. The lender will issue a final credit check. Most people don't notice. They never did it before. They're doing it now. With this check, they're going to make sure you didn't go out and buy a car or, open new credit cards or furniture or anything. You don't, I always remind their agent, please don't buy anything, because you can kill the deal and ruin your credit prior to getting your house. When both are complete, they will issue the title attorney will issue closing documents along with the lender. That's called the closing disclosure. And that disclosure goes to the attorney and then to the buyer. They will go through all that, make sure the numbers jive. And at that point, they are clear to close. As long as you're clear on your side and ready to go, it can be discussed between the agents of when would be a good time for you. If you're both ready to close tomorrow, technically, we would contact both attorneys and see if that's okay. The lender, and make sure that's okay again. And if it is okay, you're clear to close. You're selling your house and a buyer's buying your house. And that's basically it. I mean, I'm sure there's things I left out, but I know there are, and I did for a reason, because there's so many variables, so many ways this can go. But I figured I'd let you know what the buyer goes through as well at the end. The most important parts were in the beginning, where we do the interview and we negotiate and set price, and get the home price strategically to sell. Really, that's it. If we can do that, we're going to sell your home and you're going to make some money on it. And with that being said, thanks so much for watching this. If there's anything I forgot or any questions you might have, please leave it in the comments for me. And don't forget, please subscribe and leave a like. It really helps me, and it means the world to me. It really does. So thank you very much, and I'll have another one coming out soon. Have a great day.